Hey guys! Today I want to talk about snacking and in general eating a lot throughout the day. So in case you also feel like you're having problems with eating too much, you'd like to lose weight or just snack like a little less because it's not healthy or you're worried about your metabolism, stay tuned and you will hear some of my best tips on how to snack less and how to prevent, just eating throughout the day or how to organize a little better your daily food system. Well, to start off, I was probably no different than many of you guys that are listening to this right now because during the elementary and also most of the high school, I just kept snacking without really thinking about what I was eating, without thinking about the food and without actually organizing my meals throughout the day or even the day before for the next day. I would just eat not even whenever I would be hungry, but just for fun. I don't know if this is the good expression for fun, but I don't know, whenever I would come home from even just a short walk or just something that I had to arrange, I'd come home and I would just open the fridge and grab some ingredients for some sandwich and make myself a nice portion of new calories that aren't even healthy and are not really actually making you that full. That's why you in an hour you just kind of feel hungry again. Plus carby stuff are incredible because I think not I think, but it's scientifically proved that once you eat carbs, they're a little addictive, in the meaning that when you eat bread or similar things like pasta or any other carbs or even worse sweet stuff, you kind of crave it again and very soon because it kind of wakes up this process in your organism that makes you want more, makes you want to eat more. And yeah, I'm gonna give you a couple of tips on how to prevent such cravings, how to feel more full and less hungry. And if you kind of crave for some sweet or salty snacks, I will provide some of my favorite things to kind of calm down my tummy, but also my brain, because a lot of times I think there's actually just a sign in our brain that we are hungry and that we should be eating some not very healthy stuff, but it's actually not the question of our stomach but the question of our brain. Maybe we feel just alone, emotional, stressed out, or even bored and we kind of want to eat, and in our brain it's kind of the same thing, which for our body unfortunately is not. And yeah, we should take care about that. So stay tuned if you're interested. Well, my first advice would be to organize your meals in advance, in the morning of the day, to make some sort of schedule, or even the evening before the day, to just or organize your meals, write it down, especially in the beginning as you're starting to eat like that. Or even go shopping and just prepare your food in advance if you can. Some of the things you can freeze, some of the things you can just put in the refrigerator, or some things you can even just leave out in, I don't know, on the shelf or something. A lot of times it will really help that you kind of go shopping on your own to just kind of prevent any sweet stuff or salty snacks that aren't too healthy, to going inside your shopping cart, or just coming through your door and inside your home and your room. And the bad thing is that when you're actually hungry and you don't have your food already prepared, from the previous day or from the morning, it's bad because you can't prepare it really fast and you're already very starving. I remember I used to, coming home from school quite late, and when I would come home I would already be so starving that I could just attack just about anything, the whole chocolate or the whole bag of chips, and I would just eat it because I couldn't wait for the real meal, nutritious, to come on my table. And then you can if you have a real good healthy warm meal, some cup of veggies and I don't know, fish, or just veggies with some beans or other legumes, they will actually make you very full even if you don't eat a lot of them. But if you eat a lot of chips or a lot of wedges or a lot of chocolate, you will just be more hungry. It won't really make you full because there are no nutrients inside. There are just plain calories that are kind of blank, but blank meaning not making you full, not blank meaning not making you fat, because obviously they are making you fat a lot more than the rest of the food. So the best thing definitely is to prevent this kind of stuff is to have your food prepared in advance, or like if you're very lucky, if you have somebody at home that can prepare this for you and is willing to prepare it. I know it's kind of tedious for them probably, but in that case you're like extremely lucky, and you should be taking advantage of this thing, like, and not just really be snacking on some unhealthy food that's not even making you full, and you're gonna be hungry in an hour, and most likely you like repeat this process, and this will make you like really gaining your weight and just dissatisfied, and you know, like then you will just start eating bad stuff again, and it will make you gain more weight, and it will make you more dissatisfied. So I really don't recommend this to anybody, because it's like a whole closed circle of dissatisfaction and just being fat. So yeah, I also forgot to mention that in case you don't do your own groceries, which I believe many of you don't do because maybe you are still just very young, just go with your parents and ask them if you can just buy some of your stuff, and if they can like buy less sweets or other unhealthy things, because you're trying to kind of start eating more healthy, and I'm sure they won't mind. I'm sure they'll be very happy and also proud of you that you made this decision and that did such a huge step, in your life. So one more thing is that probably the biggest problem with all of the people that are snacking a lot is watching television or watching whatever YouTube video, like this one for example, on your computer, which is pretty much the same, or whatever series or show or just movie on your computer. Doesn't really matter. You probably have some bad snacks somewhere and you just start eating them, and here the biggest problem is just portioning. I'm not saying that you should just cut off on each sweet that you crave and each unhealthy snack, because obviously it's gonna be hard to do that just like from today to tomorrow, like in one moment. But just cutting off on bigger portions is already a huge step, I think. And you can instead of grabbing the whole bag of chips, you can grab like a tiny bowl and just put in some chips, and it's gonna be probably more difficult for you to actually stand up during the movie, just hit the pause button and just go for another bowl of chips and stuff, and you're just kind of stuck probably, hopefully. Yeah, one more thing is that maybe instead of this snacking, you should have in your room always some maybe mini fridge or just some other things that won't go bad if they're not in the refrigerator, I don't know, some fruits in the winter, or in the summer should be in the mini fridge I think, or just some more healthy crackers or some veggies and some very good dips for the vegetables, or some pre-made smoothies and protein shakes or stuff like that that will actually make you full, and they will actually satisfy that craving in your brain that you have for sweet stuff. The fruit actually does that because it is kind of sweet, and it's actually a lot better choice. It still has some sugar, but it's not really artificial, and it's definitely a better choice than any chocolate in the world. And the one very good thing with this healthy unhealthy food thing is that once you start eating healthier and start snacking less, it's gonna be hard in the beginning, of course, because your body is only getting used to that, new regime or something, but in a week or 10 days or so, you'll kind of get used to it, and you'll feel the difference inside your body. You're gonna feel a lot better, you have more energy, at least this was for me, and you kind of feel strange that you ever actually snacked a lot. It will already be your habit, and it's gonna be hard to ever go back, which is totally good, But if you kind of every once in a while still have cravings or snack kind of something bad, you shouldn't feel guilty because you're still doing it a lot better than you did before probably. And yes, I remember that like in the past when I was still snacking a lot, I didn't have any food plan or any just meal schedule, but I was just randomly eating throughout the day, like 10 times I believe. It wasn't like really a lot, but in the end I ate a lot more calories and a lot more bad stuff and bad calories than I would eat now. And one more thing I figured out and kind of noticed recently, that when I'm having a big breakfast, it is true what they say, like what everywhere is written, that if you kind of enjoy the huge royal breakfast, you will be eating less throughout the day. I never believed that statement because obviously sometimes I would just skip the breakfast and I wouldn't become hungry until, I don't know, 3 p.m. or so. Kind of suppress my hunger if I didn't eat anything in the morning. It's kind of like I would lose some cravings or wouldn't crave certain tastes, or I don't know, it's hard to explain, but it worked out for me. And then yeah, at 3 p.m. or so I had my first meal and it was awesome, I felt so good. I was like, oh my god, no calories until 3 p.m. But actually this was really bad because in the long run it totally messed up my digestion system and my metabolism, like in general. The long run I actually gained weight, also because then in the evening I was eating a lot more, and because of course my metabolism went totally lazy, and we don't want that. Nobody wants that because it's unhealthy. It can also be very dangerous, and plus it makes your weight just go up, instead of down. Yeah, just eating a big breakfast is kind of cool because then I'm just full until my lunch at about, I don't know, 4 or 5 p.m. That really depends on when I'm eating breakfast and when I'm waking up, of course. Yeah, I'm not talking here about like a huge breakfast of 1,000 calories, but for me, I don't know, this is very subjective. This is very like personal, depends on what sex you are, depends of what weight you have, how much activity you have during the day. But for me, like about 300 calories per breakfast is kind of optimal thing, and you can just, you'll figure that out on your own once you start this thing, and when you like run it for a couple of days, you'll figure it out very soon. But yeah, for me, there are like some eggs that are very healthy, some avocados, fresh lettuce, salad, some other veggies like broccoli or cauliflower, or some vegetable patties, or just some protein pancakes or anything like that will do for me, and I really feel good and my metabolism is really great after this. I'm not drinking any coffee anymore, like almost never, and yeah, I do feel great. Also, I include a lot of coconut milk or coconut oil in my breakfast, and of course a lot of liquids. This will really help because many times you have the feeling like you're hungry, and the impulse to your brain are like the same when you're hungry or when you're thirsty, and you might just be very thirsty but you actually think like you're hungry, and then you will eat and you will still kind of have funny feeling. And just try drinking first like a couple of glasses or half liter of normal water, and then you can see if you are still feeling hungry, then you actually should eat something, and if you're not, then you were just thirsty, and it's great, you don't have to eat, right? So yeah, especially in the morning you should definitely drink a lot. I recommend like a bit of coconut water mixed into like a liter of tap water, and you drink it like in half an hour or an hour from waking up, and you will feel awesome. Also, if this water is like very cold, it will like boost your metabolism even more, and it's really great. Like for the evening, I maybe recommend some good tea, not really green tea because it's gonna wake you up, but maybe some mint tea. I like it very much, and it's also very soothing for your tummy, and it kind of relaxes you, calms you down and stuff like that. Yeah, one more thing is that once you have like organized meals throughout the day, like 3 main meals and maybe 1 or 2 snacks, this is great, I think, because like having up to 5 meals per day is already like optimal or really cool for each individual. Also, if you're having some chopped vegetables, and you put them inside these little plastic bags, and you freeze them. They can be already pre-made portions and wonderful for some vegetable soups that are like healthy throughout the year. You can have them like cool or hot, and they will also give you like a lot of minerals that you are losing a lot by sweating, and throughout summer this is very common, so this is a cool solution. And I think that you should just, keep yourself busy, like meet your friends or doing some sports, because it will also reduce your cravings a lot, because sport activities kind of increase growth of certain hormones that are actually preventing you to crave, bad and junk food. And also, it will keep your mind busy, not thinking about food all the time, because many times you just think about food because you're bored. Come on, admit it. I mean, we're all like that. And, just do something, I don't know, some DIY crafts, go in the garden, go outside right now that is like a really lovely weather outside. And I know that many times it can be difficult throughout the learning process while you're like studying for your tests or exams, because it's in that time your brain actually needs food, because you are actively thinking and your brain is like pumping, and you're really, it's an activity. Even if you're like sitting still or standing, it's still an activity, and in those cases you should definitely be eating. But usually in those cases I know that you kind of crave sweet food, but it's not going to be okay, because it can block your mind process and you won't remember anything, or you won't be able to concentrate and really focus. So in that case, I think the best idea is to snack on some muesli bars, some cereals, or some plain Greek yogurt, or the best of the best thing for those cases is to have like a small pack of nuts, like that mixed nuts with raisins and stuff like that. Or if you kind of don't like them, you can have some almonds or some cashew nuts, Brazilian. Those are all great because they also contain a very good vitamins and other nutrients that actually feed your brain. Lighter head, you can focus more and think more clearly, which will also definitely help you with your studying, and I think this is really great. So I believe I mentioned all of my advice. In case I forgot something, I will definitely post it here for you. And if you have any more advice or any more questions about how to prevent snacking and stuff like that, or other bad eating habits, don't forget to comment down below. If you would like to keep track of my future videos, subscribe please, it would mean a lot to me. Otherwise, thanks for watching and see you next time.